When Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him near the trees of Mamre, as he was sitting at the entrance to his tent during the hottest part of the day. He lifted his eyes and looked, and saw 3 men standing by him. He ran from the tent door to meet them, and bowed himself to the ground.
My Lord, if it pleases you, stop here for a while. Rest in the shade of this tree while water is brought to wash your feet. And since you've honored your servant with this visit, let me prepare some food to refresh you before you continue on your journey.
All right. Do as you have said.
So Abraham ran back to the tent and said to Sarah, his wife,
Hurry. Get 3 large measures of your best flour, knead it into dough, and bake some bread.
Then Abraham ran out to the field. He chose a tender calf and gave it to his servant, who quickly prepared it. So he took butter and milk and the meat which he had prepared, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree as they ate.
Where is Sarah, your wife?
She's inside the tent.
I will return to you about this time next year, and your wife, Sarah, will have a son.
Sarah was listening in the tent door. Now Abraham and Sarah were both very old, and Sarah was long past the age of having children. So she laughed silently to herself.
How can an old woman like me enjoy such pleasure? Especially when my husband is also so old.
Then the Lord said to Abraham,
Why did Sarah laugh? Why did she say, Can an old woman like me have a baby? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return about this time next year, and Sarah will have a son.
Sarah was afraid, so she denied it.
I didn't laugh.
No, you did laugh.
Then the men got up from their meal and looked toward Sodom. As they left, Abraham went with them to send them on their way. The Lord kept his word and did for Sarah exactly what he had promised.
God has brought me laughter. All who hear about this will laugh with me. Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse a baby? Yet I have given Abraham a son in his old age.
Abraham named their son Isaac. He was 100 years old when Isaac was born. Some time later, God tested Abraham's faith.
Abraham. Yes. Here I am.
Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and go to the land of Moriah. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, which I will show you.
The next morning Abraham got up early. He saddled his donkey and took 2 of his servants with him, along with his son, Isaac. Then he chopped wood for a fire for a burnt offering, and set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day of their journey, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance.
Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will travel a little farther. We will worship there, and then we will come right back.
So Abraham placed the wood for the burnt offering on Isaac's shoulders. Abraham carried the fire and the knife, and the 2 walked on together.
Father,
Yes, my son.
we have the fire and the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering?
God will provide a sheep for the burnt offering.
When they arrived at the place where God had told him to go, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood on it. Then he tied his son, Isaac, and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham picked up the knife to kill his son as a sacrifice. At that moment the angel of the Lord called to him.
Abraham, Abraham. Yes, here I am. Don't lay a hand on the boy. Don't hurt him in any way. For now I know that you truly fear God. You have not withheld from me even your son, your only son.
Then Abraham looked and saw a ram caught by its horns in the thicket. So he took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering in place of his son. Abraham named the place Yahweh Yireh, which means, the Lord will provide. Then the angel of the Lord called again to Abraham from heaven.
This is what the Lord says, because you have obeyed me and have not withheld even your son, your only son. I swear by my own name that I will certainly bless you. I will multiply your descendants beyond number, like the stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will conquer the cities of their enemies. And through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed, all because you have obeyed me.
Then they returned to the servants and traveled back to Beersheba, where Abraham continued to live.